village pond, from which locals were still drawing their water over 100 years ago, and uniquely described as a Grade 2 listed structure, was in need of urgent repair. The walls had become unstable, traffic and tree roots were a problem, and it was leaking. Villagers had worked hard over the years, but now in 2006 it needed a complete makeover. The lives of our 2 resident ducks were about to be turned upside down. Holiday accommodation at Hilldrop Farm was hurriedly prepared, where they could be well looked after. Unfortunately, no swimming allowed. The first task was to empty the pond. The inlet from Friar's Pool was plugged, the sluice gate was lowered, and a large mechanical pump was brought in. Unfortunately, over the years, the pond has been used as a dumping ground for unwanted pond and aquarium fish. This illegal practice could endanger wild fish in the local river. All the fish had to be caught and found new homes. The big boys and girls of the village had a wonderful 2 days reliving their childhood. The larger fish went to some new lakes near Mayfield, and the smaller ones went to Friar's Pool, which is close by and is the source of the pond's water. The water level dropped very slowly and revealed some interesting objects. A sprinkler system was placed around the pond to stop the walls from drying out. The depth of the silt proved to be quite hazardous, as the hundreds of smaller fish were caught and quickly taken to their new home.
Hey, you should be able to run them one straight in, it's pretty clean.
The fish were speedily taken to Friar's Pool. Work continued to completely empty the pond of water, and a week later the silt had dried enough for the contractors to move in. As the silt was removed, Norman was keeping a beady eye out for memorabilia, which for some reason had been tossed into the pond over the centuries. Alfred, meanwhile, kept his beady eye on his master in the cab of the digger. Day after day, the work continued to create a good base for the pond before the lining blanket could be laid.
Oh, I'm so bored. Oh, it really does look like my blanket. Please, can I come down now? I usually do get my own way in the end.
The lining was covered with a layer of bentonite. This had to be well tamped down to form a waterproof base for the pond.
Presumably a Victorian cruet, I imagine.
A hop token, please.
As it was undecided what should be done with the walls, the edges were sealed and the pond was refilled. A mallard was so taken with the new pond that she moved in to have her family and stayed for a few weeks, and everything was beautiful. Unfortunately, we were down to one white duck, and Ben, a muscovy, was brought in to keep her company. In July 2008, the pond was partially emptied and work commenced to rebuild the walls. The good stones were to be replaced back into the new wall. To strengthen the structure, a rear wall was built of concrete blocks. This was to be faced by craftsmen using the original rocks. The weather was kind and work progressed well for 4 weeks.
Work was halted by the Sevenoaks District Council, who believed the walls were ancient and had certain building restrictions. The parish council proved otherwise, and that many repairs had taken place during the 20th century. They now wanted the pond restored with sufficient protection from the damage by tree roots, water, pedestrians and traffic. Almost 12 months later, consent was given.
Work restarted in August 2009. taking 1 week to complete the wall. And what a good job they did too. Just the last bit of lining and the pond could be refilled. The ducks' dining area and extra accommodation arrived. A few rushes and water lilies were planted. Unfortunately, only Ben had survived this ordeal.
I can't believe my luck. A pond, dining room, and 2 houses all to myself. What's this? Squatters? Oh no. I have to sort this out. Bill and Ted are my best mates now.
On Sunday, the 27th of September 2009, the Reverend Richard Worsom rededicated the pond to the delight of the villagers and the ducks.
Well, welcome everybody on this glorious autumn morning for this auspicious occasion. It is an ancient pond where the water comes through the chalk, hits the clay around here, and we've got springs, and so it's fed by a natural spring. Many villages have a holy well, but we have our pond. And as we rededicate it, we can think of water as a symbol of life and give thanks for the life of our village. We also give thanks for all those who have lovingly cared for the pond over the years. And so we rededicate this pond in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hooray!